Well, hello there, human hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you are lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka Blitz, and I am back with another dose of tanking tactics. Today we're going to be talking about basically running a platoon in mediums at lower tiers, mediums and lights and the like, and how you've got to use the mobility, and because sometimes I'm finding, especially at the moment, as we're in the middle of this Dracula and Van Helsing event, that a lot of people out there are just kind of going through the motions on your team and leaving you to burn while they tool around and do nothing. And platoon play has become absolutely paramount. And if not platoon play, then at least solid play. Now, the reason I'm using this is the victory is because I'm grinding credits in it at the present. It's a really good tank to grind in terms of coefficient. And it's a really interesting tank to do this with because it's certainly not overpowered. It's got a nice alpha, it's got reasonable mobility, it's got reasonable armor, but at no point is it one of the strongest mediums in its tier. And because of that, you've got to play it in a certain manner, and you've got to use all the bells and whistles you can to actually get the job done. Now you'll see Snake Eyes and I are down the bottom here, and we're both playing a very solid role supporting each other. I'm switching targets up as they approach him, and then as he gets under pressure, I'm moving back towards him to bring two guns to bear on one. Now we got two guns into that last target. I'm going to drive around here and actually bring that Panzer IV in a really tough spot. Snake's using the mobility to get the job done, and we're cleaning up this flank by doing the business two guns on one and kind of cheating almost in terms of being unfair, because we had a lot of tanks against us down here. But if you can isolate those tanks, it's like isolating the objections in an argument. You isolate them and then you overcome them 1 point at a time. And if you've got two guns, that's double the DPM, and it can make things very, very interesting and very, very easy. Now, I'm moving up all the way around here, and I'm not really that fussed about that leopard. Snake's going to take him out. All I'm trying to do is get to the flank of this KV-1S. Now, he doesn't have the dirt gun, and as soon as I realise that, I just roll down into him because he doesn't have the gun that can absolutely wreck me with 400 hit point shots at a time. He does seem to be stocked though, which means his mobility is rubbish. We put shots into his tracks and we learn and live. Now, putting shots in the tracks of the enemy is an absolute must. If there's one skill in the game that's going to help you, it's learning to hit track shots. Track shots will immobilize, and if you've ever played any kind of RPG or, you know, Dungeons and Dragons type game, you'll know that they call it CC, or crowd control. Well, you can't really crowd control multiple tanks at any time in this game, and by that I mean immobilize more than one tank at a time with your tank. But what you can do is keep them stock still with shots to their tracks, or distract them, control them that way. And you can see here that KV-1S, I've pulled him around by putting shots into him, and then I'm just waiting for him to actually get hit, and someone's tracked him, which kept him stuck and immobilized, and then I've managed to get another shot into him, and we're just jerking shots out of him. Now, you'd think that that would be my kill shot, and I would tunnel in there and I wouldn't move, but I've looked across on the right here and seen that Snake is in real strife. And I am going to move to him and ignore the guys over here. I'm just waiting for a chance to get there because he has 3 tanks on him and is all on his lonesome. Now, he is doing heroically well there. But I'm ignoring that one-shot KV-1S, and I'm moving over here to help Snake. And there we go. We get one into the SU-100. And now it's 2 guns on 2 guns, and we have a hit point advantage. The MT-25 takes out the Easy 8. We're down there into the VK. We're going to smash him and then swap both guns onto that VK-36. And just like that, we go from a situation where Snake had 3 guns plus on him to a situation where we have them outgunned on this flank and we can comfortably smack them, which we do. All that's well and good. But sometimes it's not just about winning by bashing everyone up. You can see what Snake's going to do here. We've put the north flank down on Copperfield, which is probably a little bit too small as a map for me still, but I do think it's vastly improved from where it was. And Snake-O is going to push forward. We're going to find all 7 of the enemy tanks here over time. And that's all there is to it. What we want to do is we've got 4 guys at the top and only 3 of us here. We want to hold these guys here for as long as humanly possible and give the rest of our team a chance to move around. Now, you can do this in a platoon. You can be hugely influential in a platoon over the course of a game to help your team win. It's a lot easier to do with 2 than it is to do with 1, obviously. And you're going to see Snake is doing the right thing. He's keeping them spotted up, and we're double tapping as often as possible on the tanks that are coming through. This 3485 is going to be very bolshy here, and he's moving on Snake. What I'm going to do now is push down and try and just get some people to put shots towards me rather than him and back them off just a touch. I can't afford to just give hit points away, but what I've done there is given Snake a little bit more time and allowed us to get more time for the rest of the team to come around. You've got a shared hit point pool in a platoon, and that's a big thing. A shared hit point pool is hugely beneficial, and that's what we did there. We basically held for a little longer. We killed a heap of tanks, or put a lot of damage in. I think I ended up doing over 2k in this game, and we took a couple out, or just about 2,000 damage. And you can see the rest of the team is now pushed up around behind, and we end up getting a very easy win because we stung the Reds here and actually held them out. Now, you're going to get people in this current game atmosphere who are just grinding through. They need to get Seals of Darkness and XP and missions done, and there's 3 times XP weekends, and they need to get all this sorted out if they want to get Helsing or Dracula tanks. So you're getting some really average gameplay, and none more so than this idiot IS-7 we've got on our team here. You can see he's just going to YOLO. He's gone solo towards town. When we've said negative, he started calling us names and carrying like a pork chop, and just sat and spawned. Look at him, he's making fun of the team. I mean, we've got 4 mediums, 2 TDs and 1 heavy, and he wanted to go alone to town. I mean, it speaks volumes to whether he's a troll or just an idiot. But there he is, he's in spawn, carrying on like a pork chop. But what you can do is utilize the pork chops. Now, he's going to sit in spawn and spot targets and act like an idiot. That's fair enough. I've got a T62A. It's a Tier X game. I've got lots and lots of DPM, and I can use his hit point pool to actually do damage, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I've put a bunch of shots in the ST1. I've made him a 1-shot for the IS-7, and then I'm looking to get stuck into this Jagdpanzer E100. The IS-7 is still carrying on like an idiot, spamming help. I don't know what his problem is, but he was abusing the team from the get-go, and he was carrying on like a pork chop. So you've got 2 choices in that situation. You can either just go, oh, that's not fair, we've got some guy who's a troll on our team, or you can do what I've done, which is utilize his hit points to spot the E100, Jagdpanzer E100, stick the Jagdpanzer E100 in a bad spot where he's between 2 tanks, kill the ST1, and then let the IS-7 go toe-to-toe with the Jagdpanzer E100. And if he's going to be an idiot, he can basically blow his hit points there while I kill this E100 over here by perma-tracking him, getting him stuck. And we talked about tracking earlier, how it immobilizes people, and then just smacking him through the faceplate with the heat round, and then coming down here and finishing off the Jagdpanzer E100 while our IS-7 runs around, and I don't know what he's doing now, but he's basically still abusing the team LOL. And we've now found a Jagdpanzer E100 who was looking at killing that IS-7 on a 1-kill shot, and we're going to nut him because he is obviously a very, very big tank with very, very poor mobility. And he smashed that IS-7. Don't get me wrong. He hammered our poor IS-7. But do you see what I've done here? I've looked at a team that had some really big blind spots. Namely, our Tier X heavy tank, who just got belted there, was playing like a moron. And I've used him spotting the rest of the team down the bottom to leverage hit point damage from me. We've killed the Jagdpanzer E100 and the ST1 that went the flank along the road there, using his hit points despite the fact that he was playing like a moron. We've left him alone and used his hit points to keep that Jagdpanzer E100 stuck still, and we've then come around and basically killed 3 tanks while he's acted like an idiot. We've even given him a little bit of damage because he's put shots into the side of that Jagdpanzer E100 and shots into that ST1. And we've done 5,000 damage into the bargain. Killed this PTA at the end. We're chasing him around while the rest of our team has done pretty well too. The rest of the team managed to face up to the 4 tanks or 5 tanks rather that were up here. And we've managed to be the meat and the sandwich and get the job done there. And you've got to think your way through in this current climate. If you are going to be playing while there are big events going on, then you have to absolutely think your way through. I was trying to say you because I thought that T54 probably deserved it for holding onto a Tier X match like that. But in the end, I just killed the guy and got it done. Play smart or go home. That's how it is at the moment. Whoever you are, IS7, I don't know if you were just trolling or being funny, but if you get guys like that in your game, guys who want to YOLO, guys who want to drive at the enemy and be completely ridiculous, then use their hit point pool. If they're going to be silly buggers, if you've got a guy that's AFK in base, set up a nice little ambush. Go behind him. Wait for the rest of the team, the red team, to rush down and desperately want the kill spam, and then pump them while they're doing it. These are all really valid tactics. If you've got a guy that's gone solo on a flank, get to a position where you can see what that E100 is spotting and shoot them, so that while people grind through his hit point pool, you're grinding through theirs. It's simple stuff, guys, but while events are on, you've really got to look out for the people that are just kind of rolling through the motions and getting XP and doing missions and are kind of lost, and it's not always their fault. I mean, a lot of people have been playing for 4 or 5 hours just trying to get things done because they don't have a premium account and it's hard for them to grind credits and such. And use that. Use everything in the game. Use the tactics that you can think of on the fly. And mediums are especially good for that. Mediums and lights, they'll make hay while the sun shines. Well, there you go. Make sure you listen to the podcast. Search Bushka on iTunes and subscribe to the Bushka on Blitz podcast. There's an RSS feed at www.bushkaonblitz.com/podcast. There's going to be a lot of interesting guests coming up. I've got Scumbag Juju's. I'm going to jump on there with him. I'm hopeful of interviewing a couple of guys from Wargaming. The New York tournament is coming up mid-next month, which I'm going to be broadcasting for the English language section of that, which I'm really excited about. Lots of videos dropping, lots of content. And you guys are fantastic. It would not exist without you, and it wouldn't exist without the patrons. So if you do consider sponsoring the channel, click on this link here, and you'll see lots and lots of sponsor-only stuff and goodies. Look after your families. Stay nice and safe on the battlefield. You always do. And bye for now.